Good morning, everybody, and welcome back for day 21 of NaNoWriMo, and that means it's episode 21 of Prisma Arena, the animated series. We're at the finale of season 3 today, and I genuinely have no idea what is going to happen or how it's all going to pan out for our heroes. So the way we left the last episode, the heroes had Vika had basically was being controlled by the Infinity Coalition and was attacking the kind of the generator of the Prisma Shield that surrounded a Keyport in order to let Despair in. And the Infinity Coalition had also they've created like a lure which is designed to attract, and they were testing this with the Merchants Guild that was bringing Despair to Keyport. So the risk is everybody is going to be overtaken by Despair. So the marshals of Keyport are trying to contain Vika. They've been ordered not to hurt them, and they've agreed to do that. Meanwhile, our heroes went to the office of Dr. Dr. Mdiki, the head chief scientist, I think, of the Infinity Coalition, and they managed to steal, find the code that they needed to kind of regain control of Vika, or to release Vika from their control. But they didn't get to do it in time. They did spot some files there that really worried Dr. Mdiki, but despite multiple attempts, they failed to get them. And in the process, they were kind of interrupted by some members of the Merchants Guild who basically kind of did a SWAT team assault. They kind of came in through the windows of Mdiki's office, grabbed our heroes and kind of yanked them out, carrying them off on jetpacks. So that's how the episode ended, on that cliffhanger. So I'm just going to put our guys back out. So just as a kind of reference, we have, so Vika is captured. So I'm going to kind of turn them sideways. We've got Eleanor, is kind of not available to me, I think. So I might see if I can try something. And we also have Nadalia, who was the researcher with the Prisma Academy. I just don't have a figure for her. Okay, so what I've done is I've kind of set the tile up because the heroes ended captured. I've set the tile up so it indicates that someone or something is being captured, and I'm going to indicate that that's our heroes. I'm just going to assume that for now, and I'll deal with the fallout of that when the plot thickens afterwards. So I think I'm just going to set this. I know I'm probably cheating a little bit, but I'm going to set this up a little bit, and I'm going to use this just because it's available to indicate the Merchants Guild. Oh no, so let's see how they're taking us actually. Always use the modified tokens. I forgot to reset these. Okay, select world, set up for the adventure. Okay. So I think the episode opens on board one of those aircraft that the Merchants Guild had sold to the Bazee. So it's kind of their property. So it's like an attack vehicle. We're on board that, and we have been captured by. I'm going to use this symbol to indicate those members of the kind of breakaway members of the Merchants Guild, and we're on board the ship. So they've captured us, and so I think the first question is like, why are they after us directly? So I think we asked them, like, why are you doing this with like despair is approaching the city? Why are you bothering with us? And I'm not a big fan of like prophecies and chosen ones and stuff, so I'm kind of trying to avoid that aspect of it. But I think they're going to say, we've noticed that you have a habit of getting involved, and let me bring it up. We've been watching you, and we noticed that you have a habit of kind of getting in at the last minute, and kind of ruining things. I mean, also they were involved in the capture of the head of the Merchants Guild as well. So I guess they're not happy with that either. So they're basically taking us out of the loop. We don't want you to kind of interfere with our plans. So that leaves me then. So, well, why not just kill us? So, because I don't want to give away too much yet, I haven't really thought of it, but I think they're going to say we've made a deal with someone, and we have plans for you. So I think they have plans for you, and they're saying, like, now be quiet, and let's get to a good position where we can kind of enjoy the view of despair running amok in this town. So I think, so to kind of paint a picture, so that this kind of aircraft is I guess it's managing to get out of the city. So again, I think, remember with the Prisma shards. Oh, maybe that's it. So we've learned in earlier episodes that in order to pass through the Prisma Shields, you must have a Prisma shard to pass through it. So it's to stop despair from kind of being able to break through. So I think if they need to get out, they have a Prisma shard somewhere on this ship. So I think maybe we could stop them from getting out of the city if we can disable that. Meanwhile, just to paint a picture, off in the distance, despair, this kind of almost the size of a mountain, this creature that kind of trails this kind of mist, is semi-translucent, is moving towards the city slowly. I think we see on top of a building, we spot the beacon that's acting as the lure that's drawing despair towards Keyport. We see people running around in a panic down in the city. I think, and then we spot Vika, who is attempting still to take out the generator and is fighting off the marshals, who are trying not to kill him, but just trying to kind of hold him at bay. So I think the first thing we got to do is get out of. If we are taken out of Keyport, I think that's going to make our life difficult. So I think Eleanor is going to turn to Nadalia and say, Nadalia, can you scan? Because she has her kind of essentially iPad communicator device, and so can you scan the ship to check if there is check the location of the essentially the Prisma shard that is allowing it to pass through the shield. So I think we're going to check for that. So the idea is, I'm going to say, I'll tie it into one. Can you find it and shut it down? Okay. Okay, so she finds it. She's able to shut it down. But I think it happens where the ship is actually leaving, and it kind of like glances off the shield. So it kind of like is. I'm going to use my hands because I'm kind of a visual person, so let me go to front of view. So I think there's the shield around the city, and it's flying up, and it kind of like just too late. Kind of see, they realize that the shields have gone down, and it kind of like cuts across the shield and shears off some of the ship, and it's going to start spiraling back down towards the city. So we try then to ship spiraling around. I think we are going to wrong way around. So I think we want to, we need to try and break free. So I think Eleanor's going to summon Inu, who's the distracted, to try and kind of distract the guards and allow us time to kind of break out of the shackles. So yeah, I think we all kind of summon our Mokon. Jisan maybe summons Donna, the Confident, and Demona summons, I think, Inu as well, and they basically, our Mokon basically tried to help us break out. Okay, so we managed to get free. That's our second action. And we are going to try and, so the ship's kind of falling down, like kind of falling out of the sky. I think we are going to, do we have the means to jump to safety? I don't think we do. I think we're going to grab, because we could either like try and wrestle control of the ship and like steer it down, but I think we're going to try and okay, I think I have an idea. First thing we're going to look for is the to see if there's some kind of like parachute or safety equipment that will allow us to kind of escape from the ship. No, but okay, so maybe this is my idea. I think no, but okay, yeah. So I think Inu or Nuhawk looks at this. So Nuhawk the Jealous, and I kind of want to give my heroes something new that they can do. I think Nuhawk looks and says, "I can do that," and basically summons a. So he essentially copies, which is his ability in the game. I think he copies the effect of the protection of the parachute and basically forms a bubble around the heroes, like a Prisma bubble. So he shouts, so it kind of forms a bubble around them, and they jump from the ship just as it's about to crash. And it's like those inflatable air kind of water things you can get into, the big kind of air balls. Our heroes jump out and are able to, they kind of bounce around, protected by this essentially kind of Prisma bubble they've created around themselves. So that's kind of really surprised them, and they kind of tumble and jump to their feet. I think they're going to try. So I think that ship kind of crashes, and the guards the merchants kind of stumble out, and I think the locals, there are some marshals who kind of run and grab them. I think what we got to do is try and again connect to Vika. So I think what's the best way? I think we're going to run. We're going to run to where Vika is, and I think we got to download this information to them, and I think they have access to knowledge. So I think, well, again, it's Cartoon World. I think we turn to Nadalia and go, Nadalia, can you access the? So there's some way that I was given this. I think we're going to run back to Vika, and so I don't think we have the means to pass this over. So I think we're going to try something different. So I think we're going to run back and use the. So we run back to the kind of the center of the town where the kind of shield generator is based on that large kind of Prisma shard. And Vika is kind of almost like down on their knees now, I think, at this point, and they're being pummeled by the marshals. And we tell the marshals to stop, and we step forward to Vika. I think the three of us together, Eleanor, Jisan, and Demona, and we all summon our Grovas, which is our kind of affection, and our Mokon of trust. And I think they kind of reach out. So it's like we're going to reach out with our Mokon to try and connect with Vika, kind of beyond the technological level, I guess, to kind of show them we care, and we succeed. But okay, I think so. I think in doing it, we see does this kind of moment where Vika kind of rises up and is getting ready to attack, and then we almost see like there's an internal struggle happening within them, and then their kind of system like changes, and they're not the kind of aggressive version of Vika anymore. And I think if Vika just looks at us and turns and runs away, I think they're kind of really upset about what they've done, and they flee. And I think before we get to do anything about that, the plot thickens. So this is where I thought I might have to change one of these things around. So it says our heroes have a dark secret. So this isn't the way the story cubes are meant to work, or the structure, because I'd already created, changed it where this was targeting the heroes. But I wonder if I can kind of feed this into Vika. So maybe the dark secret is to do with Vika. I'll try it anyway and see. It might kind of derail the story. So it's something they don't want people to know. I think so. I think Vika says I have betrayed you. I've betrayed the Guardians. I've betrayed the Academy, because I think they have given away because I think when they were under the control of the coalition, they have I want to say maybe given away a location or something. They've betrayed. So I feel like they've a dark secret that maybe they discovered when they were under control no, hang on. There's different things here. I'm trying to tie it into the longer story. So I think they say that so this is kind of like Two-Face mask, that they kind of reveal that in the time of wonder, they were actually designed as a weapon. And so they don't ever want to become that. They had that experience during the time of apathy, in the kind of fight between wonder and apathy, and they don't ever want to be used in that way again. They want to make their own choices. And they saw what happened when they've just seen what happens when they lose control, and so they so I think they say the coalition must be stopped. So because I want something that's going to drive us onto the next scene. So I think Vika actually runs off back towards the Infinity Coalition headquarters and says they have to be destroyed. They have to be stopped. Okay. So I've been answering these questions. So I've probably already. Yeah. So I think I should say. Yeah. So what's he planning to do? Let's use some of these questions. I got carried away with this story. Okay, I think so we did mention before that they are running tests on children and their Prisma, and I think what Vika reveals is they are actually trying to extract the Prisma from children and I think the plans are there. So they're trying to extract the Prisma from children and essentially build new. Where am I going here? So I'm looking at these icons here. So they've been testing children, which is the kind of the lab rats, extracting their Prisma, and the plans for this kind of program are here. They've been trying to extract that Prisma and essentially bring life back to other Arcanobats, and turn the children essentially into weapons. Well, how are you going to stop them? So meanwhile, we also have like despair is approaching the city. The shield is still up, so I think we've got some time. I think what we are saying, I'm going to use the, I'm not using my modified token just yet. I think the children are being held in the upper floors of the building. And I think I'm going to treat this kind of like oil or fuel. And I think it's kind of going like, we essentially need to burn it down. So get the children out and destroy the building. Okay, well, I think count us in. So I think we want to do that. While we're there, why not destroy the generator? Because we saw it when we were kind of flying in, or when the ship was crash landing. So we're going to head to a new location. Well, hopefully back to this building. I'm going to use my modified dice if I need to. Okay, so what happens? Okay, so I think we make our way to. So I'm going to use this to represent the Infinity Coalition building. I go back to my top-down view. We go back to the Infinity Coalition building, and on our way there, so I think we're making our way up through the building. The place is in chaos because despair is coming. There's just been an attack on the headquarters of the Infinity Coalition from the Merchants Guild. So I think there's enough panic for us to kind of get in. Let me see. No, you know what? Instead of assuming that, I'm gonna say, okay, we tried to break in to like kind of sneak through the building up to and find where the children are located on the upper floor. Apologies if I'm talking fast. It happens when I get excited. So we're going to try and make our way to the top floor to find where the children are located. Okay, so we do find them, and I do realize all my good things are running out. But I think they're tied up to machines, and yeah, we can't just kind of grab and go. We're going to have to try and extract them in some way. And I think so. I'm going to time this so that we extract them. So I'm going to try and we're going to run around and try and kind of release the children as quickly as we can. Yeah, I'm going to say there's about 20 children here of different ages. Okay, so we are able to release them. Yeah, but someone turns up really angry, which leads to this. So I think. So what do we have here? So I think I could have. So I'm going to use this to represent a. I'm just going to say guards. I think the alarms go off as we're doing this, and some of the security guards come running and they're chasing after us. And we need to get to the top floor to try and destroy or dismantle the lure. And I think Nadalia is going to be working on that as we're running, kind of like she's tapping away on her pad, trying to get access to it and find its location. So we're being chased. So I think we're going to, first of all, I think Nadalia is going to try and get access. So as we're being pursued, and we're kind of like, instead of running down, we're actually running up higher to the roof where the beacon is located. So the guards are coming after us, and they're I think they're going to be equipped with essentially kind of like cattle prods, which is what they generally use for kind of like, I think, controlling the children and the creatures. So they're not a long range weapon. So they're chasing after us, and I think we're going to try and hold them at. I think we're going to try and reach the roof before they can catch us. I'm going to do that as the first thing. No, so I think they corner us, and so I think we get up to a kind of a locked door, and we're not able to get through them. And I think then. So hang on, we actually have 20 children in tow. I think, are they with us? They are. I think they're ordering for us to kind of give them back. And I think Eleanor is kind of like protecting the children. And I think Jasan is going to, I think, with Vika and Demona, I think they're going to kind of rush the guards using, like, summoning their Mokon. So Donna and Farg for anger and confidence. And they are going to try and, I think kind of tie up the guards, as in keep them occupied. And they yell at the others to try and, get to the roof, get the children to safety, and for Nadalia to get to the roof and deactivate the beacon, the lure. Okay, so we're going to see how they succeed, whether they succeed or not. No, but I think I don't think they're able to get through the door. But I do think they scare away the guards, and they retreat and fall back. So they've kind of bought themselves some time. The door is still locked, and I think that when they see kind of Farg chasing after them, they turn and kind of run back. So they run back. The kind of the doorway or the entrance, has a kind of keypad. They need to get through that to get up onto the roof. They're not able to do that, so they're still on the lower level. So I'm just going to ask, is there another way that we can get up onto the roof? Or how else might we get up onto the roof? What are our options? Okay, I think there is so there's two things. Yeah, so I think they go back and they see that let me see. I think because I kind of have the snoozing and the look at, so I kind of have this idea of Nadalia's kind of working away furiously on her pad, and she sees this kind of like she accesses the kind of the security center, the watch center, and that there's another route where the guards are currently sleeping. So it's not covered. I think the guards are they're not paying attention, or they're sleeping. If we take this other route up to the top. So I'm just going to ask, because I know that's my other one. Okay, so I'm going to ask How are the children holding up? Okay, so the image I have is actually, they're kind of like frizzing with Prisma. It's kind of like a little bit eerie. There's like flashes of light emanating from them, and it's slightly erratic and kind of worrying. So I think we need to get them to safety, and we don't have a whole lot of time. Oh, and I think actually, so I'm going to use my idea token because I see the map. I think one of the children knows the way. So they say, follow me, I'll show you how to get up to the roof. And so we set off with them. But we discover that the guards have another agenda. So I think their agenda is so I think as we make our way to the roof, we see the guards taking off in a kind of a smaller kind of shuttle ship, and they are. Oh, they're taking the beacon. Oh crap. Okay, I really do make my life hard. So I think they are. We see some of the guards from the Infinity Coalition, and I think they're actually lifting the beacon up off the ground, and the ship is taking off with that. And I'm gonna see where are they taking it. So again, I think Nadalia is working super fast, trying to track where it's like access its flight path. And they are going to bring it to, where are they going to take it to? Well, it's funny. This kind of, speaks to me of Hendon Forest. Just for climax, I'm going to modify that, and I'm going to say they're bringing it to Beacon. So they are headed to Beacon with the with the lure and bringing despair that direction. Okay, so I am going to. Okay, so this has a blue insert and this is blue, so I can actually bring this cube forward. So I think this ship is taking off, and we run, and so I think we're going to have to split up. So I think Eleanor is going to stay with the kids. So I think she's going to hold the kids with Nadalia, and the other three run to jump onto the ship before it takes off. Okay, so they managed to do it, but the so the guards, there's other guards in pursuit. So we jump onto the ship and we hear the kind of like over the intercom that there are what do we see? Yeah, I think like another ship taking off, like flying up out of the building, out of the roof as well, and kind of pursuing us. So we, so I think we managed to get on, and I think they're trying to get the other ship closer. So that other guards are jumping onto the ship as well. So they're in pursuit. And I think we've got Vika, who has shown to be a pilot. And I think this is maybe this similar to the ship that we encountered back in one of the previous series with Jasan, where Jasan first met Vika. I think they are going to I think Jasan is going to use his kind of Prisma Shield to try and, because there isn't a whole lot of room to maneuver. So I think they're going to try and block the way in from the guards from the Infinity Coalition, whilst Vika kind of wrestles the pilot out of the seat to try and take over or gain control of the ship. So they're going to try and gain control of the ship. No. And I think whilst they're doing this, one of the guards manages to get a hold of Demona and is basically threatening to kill her if they don't stop. So I think then that, so they kind of, do they stop? I think, so I'm trying to think. So they've got a gun to Demona. I think she is actually going to try and summon almost like Grova up behind the guard and just give them a massive hug to kind of take them out. Okay, so she succeeds, and I think so. So I think when the pilot kind of sees this, they kind of like, or Vika turns around to the pilot and kind of leers over them, and I think the pilot then kind of like gives up their seat, and Vika just like tosses them away and sits down into the pilot seat and starts flying. Okay, so we've managed to get control of the ship, and now there's someone else after us. So I think we've got the beacon. We need to destroy the beacon. So I think, well, first of all, I think we need to get out of green light. So let's do that first. So we're going to try and fly or out of Keyport. Sorry. Okay, so we managed. We've got the kind of so I'm making stuff up. I guess the kind of Prisma key. So that shard in the ship that allows us to pass through the shield. And there's a huge cheer, I think, from the crowds as we managed to fly out. I think then at the same time, So I can either cut to the others and see how they're getting on, or else we're being targeted. So I think we managed to get out of the ship, get out of the city, but then I think just to kind of set the tension high, I think I'm going to use this to represent despair. That this like tendril kind of lashes out to try like kind of reaches for us. So it is like, I don't know. It's like being a little bee looking at a human. This huge hand reaches out to kind of grab the ship, and we steer to. Vika kind of yanks on the controls to try and steer out of the way. Okay, so we managed to avoid it. And I think we're kind of we don't know, like we're kind of yelling at each other, like, what do we do? Because the spare is that close to us. We don't have the means to destroy it. We can only kind of delay it and kind of bring its attention elsewhere. So I am going to try and do a flashback to a time in the class when we were training and we're being taught about despair and how to deal with it, because I have no idea. So I've only got 2 groups to work from. Okay. I think the only thing so we were told that essentially it's Prisma that's going to keep the so there's just ideas going on in my head. So Prisma is the only thing that can keep despair at bay. So that kind of inner hope or that inner light. So I think Jisan says, I have an idea. And I think because he has that his axe that he's able to kind of like his throwing axe that he's able to power up. I think he is. So he basically says to Demona and to Vika, we need to like in terms of the beacon, we want to kind of overload it with Prisma so that it kind of repels and maybe we have a chance to kind of repel despair. So kind of like there's I guess the beacon at the moment is sending out some Prisma, which is what despair is drawn to, but too much will basically kind of repel them. So I think they set the ship on autopilot, flying away from Greenlight and from Keyport, and they turn and they focus all of their energy. They open the hatch in the ship, pointing down, and Demona says, "Do you think this is going to work?" And I think Jisan looks to Donna, who represents confidence beside him, and it's kind of almost like flittering between that and Agla, who represents nervousness, and he says, "I sure hope so." And I think what we're going to do is we're going to see like all of the Mokon who are gathered together. And I think they hold each other's hands because I don't know if they know whether they're going to get through this or not. Because if they overload this thing, they don't know what the consequences of it are. So they kind of they kind of squeeze each other's hands, and together they fire a blast into the beacon, into the lure, with the idea of overloading it and repelling despair. Epic finale. It doesn't work. I don't think it's enough, but I am going to give them one more go. So they're like, it's not working, and I think I've got one more idea. I think the people of Keyport kind of. So yeah, they say it's not working, but then they see a beam of Prisma coming out from Greenlight, and they look down and they see no. So they suddenly see other beams kind of firing into the lure, and when they look out the window, they see Omax and some of the other Guardians have joined them, and they're all funneling their Prisma, channeling their Prisma into the lure as well. And so they try again. They basically summon all of their efforts and channel it back into the lure to try and overload it and repel despair. No. But okay, so this is the positive of them. So I don't think they. So they channel all their energy in. And I think there is this kind of massive explosion. Okay, so the Prisma, the lure kind of explodes, and there's this kind of wave of Prisma emits from it. And I don't think they've repelled despair, but I think they've weakened it enough. Where Omax says, so I'm looking at this, he says, it's okay, we'll handle it from here. And they start firing away at despair. Yeah, so hang on, I want to I'm going to tweak that ending a little bit. So I think they fire it at so they don't get what they want, but I mean, they have destroyed the lure. Okay, so despair has kind of lost its immediate focus. So I'm very conscious this is the end of the season, so I want to wrap things up. So they give me some ideas. So they weren't able to defeat the third. They destroyed the lure. But this is much. I am trying to think of how to end this. They Okay, I'm gonna do a kind of like a classic trope. I think so they don't destroy it. And there's kind of just this shock. They thought this was going to work. And I think I think we're going to cut to that the mysterious figure who met with Jasan, who was a I think we're going to call them an inspirer. So an inspirer of wonder. I think we cut and we see them, and there's a number of them kind of watching this again through a kind of holographic projection, and they say it's time for us to get involved, which is this. It's like the time is right for us to get involved. Well, I think that's our cue to help to get involved. And I think they're looking in particular at our young heroes as well. I think we're going to end the episode there. So I think, yeah, the thing is destroyed. Despair is maybe shook by it, but not repelled. So kind of somewhat weakened. Whilst our heroes are kind of a bit, they're dejected because despair is still kind of on the move. They still need to draw it away. That the we see these inspirers of wonder say it's time to get involved. So I think I think the main outcome is that the spirit is still moving, but not towards Keyport anymore. It's still kind of walking the land, and the Guardians, I think, kind of report back in that they have managed to kind of like direct it, so they kind of like herd it away to somewhere where, to let's call it the plains of nothing. Which is just a kind of wasteland. Could just call them the wastelands. To the plains of nothing, where despair can't do too much harm to people. Okay, so we have our threads are that I think the lure is destroyed. Heroes captured, we've resolved that. Vika under coalition control, we've resolved that. The moment its parents are in danger, they've discovered something from the Shuma and then disappeared, so we haven't resolved that. And followers of despair are after Vika. Well, everybody seems to be after Vika. But I think Vika is safe. Oh, we've basically we had the earlier one thread of the children being experimented on, so that's being resolved, I think. Yeah, so we rescued the children. Major is still on the loose. Yeah, okay, so I think the thread is like the spare. No, so I think inspirers. They have taken an interest in our heroes. Heroes. And so the other thread was about Vika, I think, wanting to destroy the building, the coalition. So I think it's been, we see that the marshals have taken control. So I think the Infinity Coalition have been ousted. From Keyport. So, and their plans revealed. So I'm going to say they've escaped. Or have fled. They've fled Keyport. Okay. So, I think that's it. Main things, parents. Keyboard is okay. Plans have been taken back. If I've missed anything, please let me know. But I think I'm going to wrap up the episode there. That was tense and didn't quite go our hero's way. I think their good luck at the beginning caught up with them later on. But the children are safe, which is kind of really important. And I think, yeah, we'll have a kind of a nice kind of reunion where the students all meet up back in at the academy, and we ask they ask Eleanor, like, what happened to the children? Did they get to safety? Did they get home? And she said, well, while we try and track down their parents, welcome to your this the academy is going to be their home. And we see the kind of younger children come out in jumpsuits, so they are kind of like a junior group training within the academy as well. They won't be involved in any of the fight with the spear, don't worry. But this is going to be their home for now, and I think they treat Eleanor as a big sister, and they're fascinated by Vika, and yeah, they kind of love the different personalities of Jasan, who's kind of show-offy humor, and the Mona's acrobatics. Each one kind of gets their own little following from the children that have joined them. So I think we're going to end there with that kind of, we see that the children have got to safety. And yes, so if you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. I'm going to put up our banners. You can find both these games on the We Are Hub Games website. You'll find us on social media. And both Prisma Arena, from which all the characters are drawn, the Arena combat game, is pretty much on sale now. And so is Untold, Adventures Await, which works wonderfully with all of the story cubes you've bought. I'll do my sales pitch. And you can find me. So if you want to follow future episodes, you can find them through We Are Hub Games on social media. We post every day, and all of the back episodes are available on YouTube /We Are Hub Games. And what was my other thing? Yeah, so you can find me then as Rory O'Connor on Facebook. Or where else am I? Instagram, Twitter, I think, are my three main platforms. Thanks for joining us, and we will be back tomorrow to begin season 4 of Prisma Arena, the animated series. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Take care. Bye. I'm going to turn this off. Bye.